All right, so what I'm saying here, right? Sham Stewie and Happy Stewie are two different Stewie. I'm saying this because Shame Stewie cannot really understand Happy Stewie. Happy Stewie may be able to understand Shame Stewie. Reason being is because whatever you become aware of, accept, and transmute, you're able to see. So shame Stewie hasn't accepted shame. Shame Stewie hasn't become aware of shame. So shame Stewie cannot accept it and transmute it to move up the ladder. Right? But Happy Stewie have seen shame. He has become aware of shame. He has accepted shame and he has transmuted fear, transmuted happiness, right? And what I'm saying is there might have been a time where he was sad. He saw that he was sad, and then he realized that to move from that sadness, he had to accept that sadness and change that sadness into a refinement, looking at that sadness as it is a growing process to his happiness. But Stewie hasn't got to that point yet. And the reason why Happy Stewie can understand Shame Stewie and Shame Stewie cannot understand Happy Stewie is because Shame Stewie is stuck at his 0.035%, while Happy Stewie, from already previously being ashamed before, moved up to happiness, is now able to see the 0.035% of shame. Shame is not able to see it because shame is still unconscious in the feeling of his heart. And let's talk about this, right? The human rely on their five senses in varying degree. Sight accounts for approximately 80%. But let's look at it. The claim that the human eye can only see 0.035% of reality is accurate in reference to the electromagnetic spectrum. So you see that? That is telling you that your eyes is supposed to gauge consciousness and not to judge consciousness, because what you are seeing is based on frequency. Shame Stewie is only seen based on that shame that he's in. Happy Stewie is seen based on that happiness that he's in. Maybe he has been through shame before, maybe he hasn't, but that's a perception. Shame Stewie is stuck in shame on his 0.035%. But if that Stewie decide to say, you know what? If he decides to say, you know what? Let me accept, accept, let me accept that. He said, let me accept. Let's go ahead. If he said, let's accept that, right? If he decided to say, let's accept that, accept, transmute. And that simply means reflecting on it. Because first, to accept it, you have to see it. So awareness. Awareness is first, right? Awareness is first. Awareness, acceptance, transmute. There we go. So awareness, acceptance, transmute. Happy Stewart has already accepted because he had to move from shame to gain to happiness. He had to realize that his happiness is dependent upon his internal state because his eyes cannot see all of reality. His eyes is only seeing an elusive portion of reality because in society we deal with 0% to 100%, and the eyes can only see beyond that 0.035%. So which means we should be depending upon our internal state more than our external state because our eyes is not accounting enough of reality to make that judgment. It is not. So our awareness, our acceptance, our transmute is better than our external state, right? So we cannot allow our external state to dictate our internal godliness. That is why he said, be still and know that I am God. And that's because your eyes cannot see all of reality. As you can see, Your eyes can only see 0.0035%, and that 0.035% is based on your perception, which in turn projects your frequency, right? So happy Stewie may be able to understand shame Stewie, but in some cases, if shame Stewie is not aware, he may not be able to understand happy Stewie. And until he becomes aware, accepts, so you can transmute, and transmute simply means is changing it from lead to gold, looking at the negative as positive. You get what I'm saying? So it'd be like the same equation. Negative times negative equal positive. And that's the equation right there. Because your eyes cannot see enough of reality to make that judgment. So you should be morally dependent upon your internal state. Be dependent upon your internal state. Know your identity, know your belief, and act from there. Because your eyes cannot do the judgment. It's not seen enough to make that judgment. And everything that it's seeing is based on frequency. Remember that. And attention equals vibration, and vibration, enough of the same vibration equals frequency. So the attention of the identity plus the vibration of the belief equal the reality of the frequency. Do 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 do.